The moment Mia held her newborn in her arms, she felt both love and heartbreak collide. Across the city, in his towering glass office, billionaire Alexander Hale stared at the paternity test results, his face unreadable. The baby was his, but Alexander refused to claim her. "It's complicated," he told his lawyers, turning away from a life he had once imagined with Mia. Mia, heartbroken but unbroken, packed her bags and left the mansion that had once been filled with dreams of forever. She returned to her small hometown, determined to raise her daughter with dignity, despite the whispers and stares. Every night, she sang lullabies by the crib, whispering stories of hope, courage, and love, not the love denied by wealth, but the kind that comes from within. Word of Mia's strength spread quietly. Neighbors admired her resilience, old friends returned with help. Each act of kindness, every shared meal, and comforting smile became a testament to her humanity, a stark contrast to Alexander's cold ambition. Then, one rainy evening, the unexpected happened. Alexander appeared at her door, soaked and shaken, the city's chaos written on his face. "I made a mistake," he said, voice trembling. "I never realized what I lost until now." But Mia, holding her daughter close, had grown stronger. Would compassion be enough to forgive him, or had she already found a life richer than any fortune? Alexander's eyes met the tiny face of his daughter for the first time. She was asleep, fingers curled around Mia's hand, innocent and unaware of the drama that had shaped her life. Guilt gnawed at him. Every lavish party, every deal he'd chased, suddenly felt hollow. He realized that wealth could buy comfort, but not the warmth of love or the trust he had squandered. I don't expect forgiveness," he stammered, voice barely above a whisper. I had to see her. I had to see you both." Mia's heart pounded. Part of her wanted to slam the door, to shield herself and her daughter from the man who had abandoned them. Yet, she also saw the raw vulnerability in Alexander, the man he truly was, stripped of pride. "You hurt us," she said, steady but soft. "Not just me, her. And that kind of hurt doesn't vanish overnight." Alexander nodded, swallowing hard. "I know. I was afraid. Afraid of responsibility, afraid of judgment. I thought money could replace what mattered, but it can't. Not ever." Mia studied him, searching for sincerity, and found it. Slowly, she opened the door wider. "Actions matter more than words," she said. "If you want to be here, prove it. Not for me. Not for anyone else. For her." He stepped inside, hands trembling. It was the first step toward redemption, toward connection. Outside, rain washed over the streets, but inside, a fragile hope glimmered. For the first time, Alexander understood what Mia had carried alone, the courage to love without expectation, the strength to persevere, and the beauty of forgiveness, even when it seemed impossible. And in that moment, he vowed he would spend the rest of his life making amends, not with money, but with his heart. Days passed, and Alexander didn't leave Mia's side. He helped with diapers, sang lullabies he barely knew, and even laughed when his daughter's tiny hands clumsily grabbed at his tie. Each moment was a lesson in humility, a reminder that life's most valuable lessons couldn't be bought or negotiated. Yet, just as a fragile rhythm formed between them, a challenge appeared. Alexander's business partner, ruthless and ambitious, demanded he sign a contract to sell a portion of his company. "You can't afford distractions," the man sneered. "Your personal life doesn't belong here." Alexander froze. For a moment, the old Alexander, the man who once prioritized wealth above all, wanted to comply. But then he glanced at his daughter, peacefully napping, and at Mia, her eyes kind yet unyielding. He realized wealth meant nothing if it cost him his family, his chance to make things right. "I won't choose money over her," he said firmly. "Not now, not ever." The partner laughed, but Alexander's resolve was unwavering. That night, As rain again drummed softly against the windows, he apologized, not just in words but in action. He donated part of his fortune to causes Mia had supported quietly, showing her that compassion could be powerful, even from the world's richest man. Mia watched, amazed. The man who once abandoned them was slowly transforming into someone who understood kindness, empathy, and the true meaning of responsibility. She realized that love wasn't just about grand gestures, it was about showing up when it mattered most, even after mistakes. For the first time, she felt a spark of hope that the fractured family could heal. And Alexander? He learned that the smallest acts of humanity could outweigh the largest fortunes, leaving a legacy far richer than money. Weeks turned into months, and Alexander continued to prove his sincerity. He attended every parent-teacher meeting, cheered at every small milestone, and quietly helped Mia rebuild the community projects she had paused while raising their daughter alone. His transformation was evident, not just to Mia, but to everyone around them. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in gold and pink, Alexander knelt beside their daughter in the garden. "I can't undo the past," he whispered, "but I want to be the father you deserve, starting today." Mia, watching from the porch, felt a mix of caution and warmth. She had learned to guard her heart, yet she also recognized that true change wasn't instant, it was shown through consistent acts of love. And Alexander had shown her more in these months than words ever could. Then, unexpectedly, the very people who had doubted Mia's choices began to notice. Neighbors, friends, even former skeptics saw how a man once consumed by pride had embraced humility. His actions inspired them, showing that compassion and responsibility were far stronger than wealth or status. The climax came quietly, one rainy afternoon, when their daughter took her first steps. Alexander, who had once fled from responsibility, was there, arms wide, tears in his eyes. Mia cheered, laughing and clapping, feeling a weight lift from her shoulders. The child stumbled into Alexander's embrace, and in that moment, every past pain, every harsh word, every refusal to claim responsibility was redeemed by the power of love. As the rain cleared, a rainbow arched across the sky. Mia realized that kindness, courage, and forgiveness had built a life richer than any fortune. Alexander, holding their daughter, finally understood that the greatest wealth was not money, it was family, love, and the humanity that binds them together.